So I often get the question, why study nematodes? What is it that drew you towards these obscure organisms? And for me, it's understanding the unknown. We have these microscopic organisms that are down in the soil environment having a severe impact on our crops, and we really don't understand very much about their biology or how to manage them. I'm Tristan Watson. I'm the assistant professor in nematology in the Department of Plant Pathology and Crop Physiology at LSU AgCenter. Nematodes are microscopic roundworms that feed on the root system on a lot of the economically important crops that we grow here in Louisiana. Often these nematode infestations go unnoticed for multiple years until they get to the level where we start to see some severe reduction in plant growth. And this is often when the farmer catches that they have a nematode problem in their field. What we see is a reduction in yield. We see stunted plants, sometimes we see leaf chlorosis. Often the symptoms look a lot like nutrient deficiencies or water stress, and that essentially is what we're seeing. But applying more fertilizer or water to your crop is not going to help you. The issue that the crop has is that the root system is so heavily parasitized, it just cannot access the water or the nutrients. Really, management starts with diagnostics, getting our farmers to submit soil samples to the LSU AgCenter Nematode Advisory Service and figure out which nematode species they have in the field and at what population densities they're at. Once we see that, we can move forward with management recommendations. This can include things like host resistance, the use of nematicides, rotation crops, cover crops. So we take an integrated approach for nematode management. I originally grew up in a suburb outside of the city of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I didn't really have a lot of exposure to agriculture growing up. So after graduating high school, I moved westward to the University of British Columbia, where I began my studies in microbiology. And at the time, I thought I was going to be an infectious disease researcher. In my fourth year of my undergraduate studies, I had the opportunity to do a research project. And this is where I had my first exposure to agricultural research and nematodes as well. So I started to gain curiosity in these obscure organisms. I started to realize that most people working in plant pathology were working on fungal diseases or viruses or bacteria, but we had this entire group of organisms that seemed to be neglected. I then entered graduate school and spent the next 6 years developing management strategies for various nematode problems on fruit trees. After completing my PhD, I moved down to the University of Florida to be a postdoctoral researcher. After those 2 years, I then moved to LSU AgCenter to start my career as an assistant professor of nematology. So the crops that I get to work on in Louisiana are quite a bit different than what I worked on in British Columbia and Florida, and I really enjoy that. So since moving to Louisiana, the growers have been very supportive of my research program. I've had the ability to set up quite a few different on-farm research trials at commercial farms. Since I've been here in Louisiana, I've really felt at home.